Hey guys, this is for TIs, targeted individuals. So some of you guys may have seen that update that I posted um, yesterday or the day before. Um, but I think that a lot of people maybe didn't catch what I was saying because I didn't really explain it as well as I wanted to. This is just a theory, but I think that possibly the reason that they're doing the gang stalking and the persecution is because they're harvesting chemicals from our brains. And let me just, before you freak out, just hear me out. Um, a lot of you guys are having the same experiences that I'm having, where you wake up in the morning and you have strange marks on your body, or nosebleeds, or needle marks. I've had that for years. And I'm telling you, something's going on at night while I'm sleeping. Um, and so, not every single night, obviously, but there are times when, I get marks on my body that there's no other explanation for it. Something happened overnight, okay? And I'm not trying to scare anyone. We need to start facing facts here, okay? And the facts are, these people are purposely traumatizing us, and I think that the reason for it might be that they're harvesting chemicals from our brains, because I told you guys the other day they did an intensive attack on me, and I was feeling extremely. Please understand that what you feel is actually a chemical in your brain. So when you feel something, like if you feel sad or you feel angry or you feel anything at all, if you feel anything at all, it's a chemical in your brain. That's just a fact, okay? It's a chemical in your brain. That's your brain is producing a chemical. So whether something scared you, like for example, a bear, okay, let's just say, a really simple example, you're out hiking and a bear comes around the corner. You're going to have an intense feeling of some kind. And most likely it's going to be an intense feeling of fear. That is a chemical that your brain produced. Your brain produced that chemical. Okay? Only humans do that. There are these other things that are not human on our planet. I'm sorry, but I've come to that conclusion now, that they're not human. Their brains do not produce those chemicals, and I think they don't have feelings, right? Because we've all agreed on that. Most of us have agreed that they don't have emotion. Now, some people will call them psychopaths. Some people will call them reptilians. Other people will call them, you can call them whatever they want. But the people that I'm referring to are the people who are participating in these, they're participating in traumatizing others. And they derive their pleasure from doing that. And it goes way beyond, in most of these cases, it goes way beyond, oh, they're just immature, or they're just, a mean person. No, this is, sorry, my computer did something there. This is something that is organized, okay? Those of us that are TIs, we already know that. We already know that this is an organized, concerted effort. And it's very much like a snake. What a snake does when it just kind of, it's just slithering around, doesn't really seem like it's going to do anything, and then all of a sudden it just lurches and it attacks you, and then it poisons you. If it bites you, it releases a poison into your bloodstream. So it's like they're attacking us, and our brains themselves are releasing a poison into our bloodstream and or into our brains. I mean, I haven't studied biology, so I don't know exactly how it's working, but I can tell you from my own experience that when a feeling goes away suddenly overnight, that's not normal. Usually when you have a really intensive feeling, it means that your brain is producing a lot of a certain chemical, okay? Whatever the feeling is, whether it's a good feeling, a bad feeling, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're having a really intense feeling, it's because your brain is producing a lot of whatever chemical it is, okay? So if you have a really intense feeling, very, very intense, that stems from trauma of some kind, it's not going to dissipate overnight. It's not going to dissipate suddenly. And anybody who's experienced any kind of trauma is going to know this. It dissipates over time, whether it be a couple of days, weeks, months, or even years in some cases, depending on how connected you were emotionally to that event, okay? And that's why they need you to have, there's a connection that you will make where you quote unquote bond. They need you to have that bond. Okay, go watch the movie Avatar. In that movie, there's a scene, a horrific scene, where the aliens, which are humans in the movie, that invade this other planet for its resources, where the aliens take over this animal that they want to use this animal to fly around because this animal flies. And so in order to tame that animal, they basically rape it. And they continually rape it until it finally gives in. And then they derive this intense pleasure from that animal relinquishing its own free will. That's what these people are attempting to doing. So just like Jesus said, and I'm not religious, you guys, I don't belong to any religious organization, but just like Jesus said, you should be rejoicing that they're attacking you, because that means you haven't relinquished to them. That means that they're still fighting to get control over you. They haven't won yet, so you be happy about that. You be proud of the fact that they're attacking you, because that means they didn't get you. That means you're strong. That means that you have not given in to them, and don't ever give in to. I don't even have to tell you, because I know that you guys, the ones that are listening to me, I know you'll never give in to them. But I want to say this other thing. People that commit suicide, after you commit suicide, they have a whole law system. This is what obviously I don't know this, okay? This is an idea that I have, and I'm putting this together from my own experiences and from everything that I've observed and from talking to other people, is that they have a system. What they do is very organized. They have a rule book that they follow, it seems. Okay, so that they think that, for example, if you do A, then they do B. Okay, that kind of a thing. It's a rule book, and I mean, I've told you this before, but it all has to do with whether or not you relinquish your power to them. Because if you don't relinquish your power, they're going to be after you, and that's all there is to that. So don't try to read too much into why they're attacking you. They're attacking you because you're a strong human being. That's why they're attacking you. But the other thing that I wanted to bring out is that they might also be attacking you because because they're harvesting the chemicals that your brain produces from their attacks. Okay? So this goes for anything. It goes for fear. It goes for any type of anything that somebody's doing that's causing you to feel intense emotions that are negative. You need to separate yourself from that person, okay? And there are times when, you know, people are going to say something to you that is going to, you know, make you feel a certain way, and the person's not doing it on purpose. But those of you that are TIs, you're going to know what I'm talking about, because these people, they are doing it on purpose. It's very intentional. It's not like, oh, they just said something by accident and they didn't mean to hurt you, or they didn't mean to terrorize you. But there are cases like that where people are going to say or do things and they don't mean anything by it. But I'm not referring to those people. I'm referring to the people that are organized, and they will all attack you at the same time, and they're doing it for a reason. Okay, and they have layers upon layers of reasons why they do what they do. And I think that one of the reasons is that they are harvesting chemicals from our brains. Maybe because they don't produce the chemicals themselves. Because you know how people have been talking about this for so long, how the reptilians don't have emotion and then blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying they're reptilians, although I have to say, in my visions, they look like lizards. I've had a lot of visions that I haven't shared with you guys. And they do. They look like lizards. They have like these little beaks, and they're very puny, actually. They're like puny and weak looking. They're pretty disgusting. I had a vision where one of them, like, I saw an event where this one lizard person had like they're dependent upon their technology. Okay, they're dependent upon being able to teleport anywhere they want to go, and they can be invisible, and they can change their appearance. They can look any way they want to look, and they're so dependent upon this technology that it terrifies them. If that technology was taken away, they would be terrified. I mean, if they were like in your house, pretending, you know, using this technology, making you believe that they were somebody else, and they were standing there and you're thinking you're just talking to this nice person or something, and then all of a sudden there's this little lizard guy standing in front of you. I mean, if that happened, trust me, and I saw this, they are scared shitless of you, and they will run. They won't even try to fight you, because the truth is they're weak, not only physically but mentally as well. They don't have the God-given ability to produce the chemicals that are necessary to fight. And you have it. You have the ability, and they know it. And they know that if we saw them for who they really are, they know that they'd be dead just like that in less than 5 minutes, because they can't. They don't have the physical strength, and they don't have the ability to, they don't have the passion, they don't have the strength, they don't have courage, they don't have any of those things. Okay, so they will run. So if an unveiling happens, which I think an unveiling is coming really soon, you guys, like a big unveiling, a big one, where the satellite that they're using and all this technology they're using is going to be taken away. And when that happens, they're going to run. They're going to run, and you're going to win. You're going to win. So hang in there. Do not give up. Do not give up. Because if you give up, then they can use your image. I think that's what I was trying to say. That's part of their law. So don't give up. Don't let them use your image.